Okay, today we've got a pneumatic battery, so it's like a Henry Hoover battery. They're a range of cordless ones. I resold one of these in the past for the same customer, they just have several of them, which is not that hard. I think when I disconnected the BMS it died, so we had to put a separate one in, but it was fine because it's just a common positive, discharge negative and charge negative, and the charge is just sort of a cradle it sits in. On the back here we've got a rechargeable lithium battery pack, battery cells made in Korea, 5200 milliamp hours. It's in currently, I think it's a 2p config, which isn't very much. What I did was I replaced it with 3p of LG MJ1 cells. So let's have it open, have a little look. It was reasonably simple, and for anybody wondering, it's a Torx bit to open them. It's I think it's a Torx 10. It is T10. Just 4 screws along the top. Top just pops off like that. Only goes on one way. This little tab doesn't agree with the cell holder there if you try and put it on the wrong way, which is handy. So long side goes with the sticker, short side goes there with whatever that is. I think it might be just to say that it's a dead one. And then the cells simply pull out like that. That's inside the pack. There are the holes for the thing. This is what you interface with. It's a 36 volt pack. It's a cool little circuit board. Seems pretty nice. Unfortunately, it looks like they, let's say, software fail. There's probably some kind of memory on there that decides it wants to turn off as soon as all the, it's like an EEPROM chip maybe it's called. As soon as the power's disconnected, it'll turn off and won't turn back on again. So what I had to do was I had to run a separate BMS. I think I left the board screwed on, but I didn't connect the cells. I did already open this earlier just to look inside, and that's why that's hanging off. Bit of a rusty cell there, it's probably leaked a touch. Very likely why the pack isn't performing as it should. But you've got another one there. Really quite simple, so 2p, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 cells. There's room for 30, and I think there's room for 32 or something weird, but there's room for 30 cells. And they are, I think they're 22p's or something like that. No, 26H. Find out in a bit, won't I? Fit the soldering iron on. And if we peel the side off as well. Also looking delicious on that side, all sorts of funny discoloration on the nickel there. In this lovely box I've got the new cells. Two groups of those. Insulating rings. And I've got 30 cells to go in. And for these insulating rings you just get them like that. And stick them on like that. It'll be a case of doing that for all 30 cells. I probably won't bore you with video of me doing them all, because it's just, you know, me doing that 30 times, which really isn't that exciting at all. So I'll do these 5 and then not make you suffer through the rest, which is the other 25 in here. And again, these are MJ1s, so 3.5 milliamp hour, 3,500 milliamp hour piece. Right. So to desolder this main board, there are screws holding it on as well, which I'll probably take off. Those there. So to desolder this board, what I did was I got a bit of flux on all the points. Right. And then simply did that for each of those, and if you can see it, you can start to lift it up and work it around slowly. I think what was easiest was if I mixed the new solder with each one first. It starts to sort of wick its way in. So, once that's done, my flathead screwdriver in there, and you can sort of twist the screwdriver, pry up on the board, and see that one start to release. So is that one. Then you can go to the next group along. There. Well, that's most of the way off. Oh, completely. There you go on one side. Flip it round. Exactly the same story on the other side. And you could do this with your fingers, it's just that you risk getting very warm hands, if you will. There you go, and there's the PCB. Not really a lot going on in the back. There is a temperature sensor there, which was sort of siliconed onto that area. Nothing terribly exciting, but yeah, that's very warm. Put that over there, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't work once you reuse it anyway. Are these screwed together at all? I don't think so. It'd just be a case of ripping the old tabs off and then go from there. So the old works. That's fine. Is that side, and the positive is that side. That's great. find it normally easiest to take my snips like that, and what they do is they peel the nickel off in a reasonably easy fashion. Oh, don't want that to happen. And then you can just keep removing it until you've got the whole lot off there. Obviously, if you did this, you'd be shorting out the cells with the metal there. So what I've got is just an old sheet of that sort of battery fiberboard stuff that I put over the previous groups. That allows you to lever on it without worrying about shorting things out, which is nice. Once you've got one side off, you can't short it out anyway. Like that. And it'll be a case of repeating that for the whole lot. Again, I'm probably not going to bore you with a video of me doing it, because it's just very samey, isn't it? It's just a lot of me peeling these strips off. But what I will do is I'll come back once the strips are off and I'm ready to get rid of the old cells, and put the new cells in there. Okay, no more nickel, cells all stickered up. Got to open this. Imagine we'll be doing those. And then the same on that side. 1, 2. There are the old cells. What's really handy with the boxes that the old ones come in is once you've broken down packs like that, you can just put them in there. That's a really good way to keep them all where you want them. Get rid of those. Done. Okay, so squirrels to squirrels. Negative was up there, which means we need to be like down our positives up there. Now, how do we want to do this? Oops. Just locked it shut. Fool. Can't believe I did that. Or do I want to be doing it in rows like that? Much to think about. Let's try like this first. See what we come up with. I feel like we're going to be missing a load of these out. We've only got 2 spare to play with. That's not really what we want though, is it? Well, I'll come back once I've figured this out. Well, I did end up going with that because I just looked back at the old video footage of when I did it before, and this is what I went with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The board will still fit very much like that when it's done, but I don't think I'm going to be using these connection points at all. I'm going to put my own BMS in this space here, which will be just able to squeeze down in that gap there. So we're not going to use this one at all, but what we will use is the what have we got here? The positive and the negative, and then the charge terminals from it. We'll connect those up to our new BMS, and that will solve that. So, to be honest, as of right now, this can go back on. I'm not going to be splitting this apart again, I hope. They're all clipped in properly, they are. No point doing it at the end so that this lovely piece doesn't fall off. But I can make sure I don't put anything in its way either. Gotta find the other screw. There it goes. There's that. And there's that side. Lovely. Something hanging on there. I'll probably end up having to desolder a couple of these components off this board, but what I remember I did last time was I budded out what connected to what. I didn't want to solder directly to these terminals because it's a bit gross. Beat mode. So this one here was our charge terminal. Which is this whole pad here, and I think I just scraped some of this pad off and tinned it. This negative terminal here goes back to this large ground pad underneath this MOSFET-y looking jobby, and this one here, and then the main positive also goes to there. This whole pad here, and that fuse there. So what I might do is just tin that. Definitely a bit of flux, because I think there's a conformal coating on this board because it hates me. So that one, and then this fuse here I'm going to remove. Because I don't want it involved. This I have to remove with the heat gun, and this fuse here should be able to do with the soldering iron just fine. There it goes. Get rid of that. Label these up so I don't get confused later. Well, I'll clean that up. We've got our positive side there, got our negative side there, and we've got our charge side there. Nickel wise, I'll just be building a pack where negative, and then these will be joined, these two groups here, they'll be joined, they'll be joined, they'll be joined, that'll be our positive there, these three along the bottom. Nothing exciting. I will come back when I'm maybe part way through, maybe done, something like that, and show you how it goes. So I'm just starting to, drop that. Just starting to spot weld up the cells, which is, as you can see, very exciting, very exciting and not repetitive whatsoever. I've got it stuck. It's interesting. Okay. This involves cutting your nickel to size and spot welding it into place. Now this one here, where this little post is a bit tricky because when it goes down into the case, those posts interface with, if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, these sort of, I don't know what you call them, but they interface with them and they hold it in place. And if you're not careful, this one's gone alright. I remember last time I did it, as the thing went into the post, it ripped the nickel off, and it was a right problem to get it to fit. But as you can see, it's got a bit cosy in there. Oh my! That's attached. No idea what I've done there. There we go. Who knows? Something got a little stuck, but anyway, as you can see, the strip's not damaged, which is great. These 6 here, I don't think I'll be able to get with any of this nickel ladder, unfortunately. I imagine it's much too far spaced. No, that'll be crap. The 21700 stuff is never going to work either, and the normal 650 size stuff is actually probably not that far off being fine, you know. But we'll stick to just using loads of strips of regular nickel because we're boring. wire needs to remove itself so that can sit flat. There it goes. And then the series strips are going to go like that. And these are nice strong connection. And then go like that. Two. And then that's 3. So we'll be repeating that for the entire way along, and then flipping over, doing the other side, because this side has the positive there and the the negative there, and then the positive will be these 3 cells down here. All very exciting. Whack a BMS in this space. You see I've removed the chip now. Still clean up to do up here, but it sort of doesn't matter, I suppose, because this board is not being used. Interesting. Well, anyway, BMS on here, connected up in the case. Don't get it stuck like however I did last time, because I didn't really enjoy that, and we'll go from there. I'm not going to bother showing it all done because it's pretty obvious what it's going to look like, but that's what's inside it anyway. I'll just show you the finished-ish product. We've got our cell groups all split welded up on both sides, and it slides down in there. I don't want to force it in because I've still got to get the BMS in. It was a right pain to get out before, but it goes in, and you can see just scrapes ever so slightly there, but this post isn't ripping all the nickel off, which is great. And the same with here. It's just a case of where it goes in, just on that one there. See, we've gone on the outside of the cell holding bits there, so it's overall probably 3mm wider than it originally was. Absolutely fits. You can still close the lid. Just it's a little bit more snug because we don't have the custom cut nickel that they originally had, which were those shaped pieces. Should be fine though, and yeah, all good to go.